Hey guys, it's Kara from iStampin.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today's project is this absolutely adorable little Easter treat box. I used the Basket Bunch bundle to create this absolutely adorable little Easter basket tag. And then this box right here, I'm going to show you how to make this. I got this idea from Sam Donald over in the UK, so I have to give her credit for this cute box. But I'm going to show you how I did everything, and you will be able to make these little Easter box for all your friends and family. All right, so let's get started. The first thing that you are going to want to do is to grab a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock. I've cut this down to 9 1/4 by 5 1/8, and we're going to do some scoring. So go ahead and grab your Simply Scored scoring tool, and you will want to place your cardstock long ways, so in the landscape orientation. And we are going to score at 1 inch, 4 1/8, 5 1/8, and 8 1/4. Okay, now let's rotate it. So now it's long ways, and we will score at 1 inch and 4 1/8. Now go ahead and keep your stylus, because we're going to do a little bit more scoring, but not with the scoring board. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit for this, so hopefully it's not too light on camera. Okay, do you see these 4 squares right here? What we're going to do is we are going to I'm using a ruler that has a metal edge, and what I want to do is I want to score diagonally into this main box. This is going to be the bottom of our box, so we're going to be scoring like so. Okay, if that makes any sense. Hopefully it will. So what I like to do, okay, so I'm going to start right up here in the far top right corner, is I like to go ahead and place my ruler in that corner, and I'm just trying to do this where I don't stick my head in camera. Okay, so right there, and then I go ahead and place the ruler at the top, and then I'm just going to burnish a few times back and forth, and that gives me my score line. So can you see that? Actually, I need to do a little bit better. So we're going to do that on all 4 corners, and like I said, you want to make sure that when you score it, it's going into that main square. So we don't want to score it this way. We want to be scoring in. And this is what's going to allow us to close the box. Okay, on this side. And I have to apologize. Well, I feel like I was just saying this not too long ago. I don't know about y'all, but March I blinked and it was gone. My kids had spring break on separate weeks, one right after another, and then they were sick. I feel like I've been at the doctor's offices every week, appointments. I was just there earlier today. My daughter, we're not sure if she has strep or the flu, waiting on those tests. And so I'm here. I just haven't been as active on my blog and YouTube. So I want to say that I'm here, and I'm heading to On Stage later this week. So it's just kind of crazy. All right, and so we're going to do the same thing on these 2 squares. We're going to have them score where they're going to be pointing in towards the square. So if you're not familiar with On Stage, that is Stampin' Up. They changed their format a couple of years ago. So they do like a biannual, or they do like a little mini convention twice a year. So it's this Saturday. They do it in April and November, so it's this Saturday. I'm heading to Savannah. I'm going to present, so I've also been working on that presentation as well. So it's just been a busy month for me. So if you've been wondering where I am, it's between family life and Stampin' Up in a different way. That's where I've been. So, and I'm just so thankful that I have this opportunity to take care of my family when needed. Okay, so we've got all of our scores that are going into our 2 main squares. Next, what you're going to do is go ahead and fold on all the score lines, and we can go ahead and burnish with our bone folder. So we're going to make the box first, and then we'll create the basket. Oh, the basket is so much fun to make. I love this bundle. If you haven't gotten it yet, or you haven't explored all the little bitty fun pieces, I think you're going to enjoy today's project. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you are going to cut at the top of this score line right here. So that middle square you're going to cut at the top, just like so, on either side. And this is what's going to create the lid. And hopefully I did this right. When I was making this sample, I was folding it the wrong way. Okay, yeah, I did do it. Okay, all right. So then what I did is, see where we just made those little scores? We're just going to fold in, and if you have to go backwards first, that may help. There we go. So just with your fingers, just really gently just fold in all those. And then we're going to do the same thing here. And with this thick Whisper White, it will create a really nice box for us. It's nice and sturdy. So you just kind of have to manipulate this. And this is the one that always gets me. Okay, and I did fold it wrong. Every time I do this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, because what we want is we want that score mark going this way. And I don't, every time I've done this, I have folded this wrong. I'm not sure why. I can't figure this out. All right, so we're just going to do all this backwards. It's like my brain can't process that or something. But I figure it out. Y'all would probably be like, duh, Kara. All you have to do is this. So when we fold it, it's going to be like this. And you can actually, if you wanted to make these in advance, you could actually store them flat, and then when you are ready to decorate it, your box will be already put together. So I'm quickly going to put tear and tape on all of the corners. You're going to want a really strong adhesive, especially using this thick cardstock. So we're going to be putting adhesive on these bottom triangles. The bottom triangles right here too. And then on these, we're going to put them on the top triangles. Okay, and let me remove all of these backing strips, and then I'll show you how we close it. It's really simple. All right, so now we've got all of the backing strips off, and if you have any tear and tape that you tore a little long, you can just roll up those edges. So we're just going to close the sides. Okay. And this will be the perfect little box to put chocolates in for Easter. And of course you can repeat this box for other little treats. I'm just going to put little glue dots on all these little flaps to keep them closed. So just put a glue dot on my paper piercers, the easiest way. And then I'm just putting it right there. Okay, so you'll want to do that for all of the flaps. Okay, so now that we've got all the flaps down, you can see how nice it closes. So there's our box, and it's a little larger than a 3 inches across and a little bit higher than 1 inch. So what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and start decorating it. I'm using the designer series paper from Succulent Garden. I have cut a strip of the Sweet Sugarplum gingham pattern to 3 by 3, so I'm just going to adhere that to the top of the box. And this is the only designer series paper I put on this box. I did not cover the sides. If you want to cover the sides, you can, but I just wanted to keep it simple. I wanted the tag to be the focal point. All right. And so we just want to make sure that that's the front of the box, so we remember that. All right, so let's go ahead and do the tag. So to make the tag, we're going to be using the Basket Bunch Bundle. This is on page 18 of our Occasions catalog. You can see here that if you purchase together, you save 10%. So here is the cute stamp set that we're going to be using. And I've already pulled out all the dies that you're going to need. So we are going to be using the grass framelit, the cute little bunny, and then we're going to be die cutting an egg. So this is the front. So we're going to need these 2 pieces, the little peep framelit, and then the bow for the basket, and then you're going to need these 3 pieces for your basket. Okay. And then this is the cardstock that you're going to need. I have chosen to use this designer series paper. This is also from the Succulent Garden collection. You're going to want to cut this out twice. For the bow and the little bunny peep, we're going to use Sweet Sugarplum. For the chocolate bunny, you're going to use chocolate chip cardstock. For the egg, you're going to use Pool Party, and this is a great way to use up all your scraps. That's what I did. I just pulled out my scrap bin and just pulled out everything. And then for the basket, you are going to use Crumb Cake. So there we go. All right, so let me just do the little bit of stamping that we need to do for this, and then you will die cut all of this out using your Big Shot. So we're going to be, I need this and this. I'm going to be stamping the chocolate bunny and the little bunny peep. I'm using Sweet Sugarplum ink and also chocolate chip. Guys, I had to pull out my old style chocolate chip. I didn't realize I don't have it. It's stamped on there, not the best, but it will do. I don't recommend using these ink pads with your photopolymer. You just don't get a great image, but in a pinch it worked. Luckily, I still have these old stamp pads. All right, so we're just going to stamp the little bunny right there. So a little cute tone on tone. And then let's do the same thing with the little bunny peep. Put that down here. Okay. And then let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And I'm doing that on Whisper White. I'm using Crumb Cake. The sentiment that I chose is an Easter treat for somebody sweet. And I also used a die cut to cut this out. You can do this by hand. I have a really hard time with banners. I'm not sure why. It's like I can't cut banners. It's like I'm banner challenged, but I went through my framelits and I found this banner right here. This is from the gift card envelope and trim, so if you have this, this may work for you. So what I did is I just lined it up where the banner is really close to the end of the sentiment, that you have it positioned equally where the top and the bottom are spaced properly so that you don't cut off all that. So you're going to, after you do this little bit of stamping, you're going to die cut all of those pieces. So this is what it looks like after you've die cut everything. Okay, so let's get all of this out. And you may have to use your paper piercer just to get all those little bits out here in the grass. And I like using pattern paper for some things like this. It just gives it a really fun little dimension. I mean, you could just use your colored cardstock if you want to, but I just thought it was kind of fun just to have a little bit of texture for grass. All right, to put all of this stuff together, you can use glue dots or you can use your snail, whichever adhesive you prefer. I found the snail to be quite easy. The lattice part of the basket onto the main base. And then for the handle, you can definitely use glue dots. And you're just going to want to make sure that you just position it equally on both sides. So like so. How cute is that? All right, for the egg, we're just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to use a little bit of snail. Whoops. Okay, and then just go ahead and put the top part on. So like I said, just experiment with all these little pieces from this collection. Just so much fun. Have the best time playing with this. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start building all of the pieces behind the basket. I'm going to put all of the little goodies on first and then put the grass behind. So for the peep, I'm just going to have it peeking just a little bit from the bottom, just where you can just barely see its eyes. Then we're going to put the egg behind that. And you can kind of play around with this. You can build it however you want. That's what I kind of did this morning. Just played around with it until I kind of got the design that I liked. And then for this chocolate bunny, actually, you know what? I'm going to put the egg on last. For the chocolate bunny, I'm going to actually have him coming out from in front of the handle, like so. I think that looks good. And then now I can put the egg on. Let's see. I'm going to be able to see the egg. There we go. Okay, so I think that looks good. Let me put a little bit more. Okay, there we go. All right, so now with the grass, I'm just going to put it where you can just kind of see the grass peeking out. Now the grass is a little bit bigger. It's obviously longer, as you can see from the basket. So I'm just going to just adhere what fits, and then I'll cut off the rest. But I'm going to use the grass a few times because I want to kind of, whoops, I need to go up a little bit higher. I want to build, kind of want to have some dimension with the grass. Okay, there we go. So just take your scissors and just cut off the excess. Okay, and then like right here, that's okay. So now we can come back with this little bit, and we can kind of make the grass a little bit higher where you're giving it just some depth. And if we want to put some here behind the bunny, we can do that. Just like that. You may not need to use both pieces, but you know, sometimes it's nice to already have it handy. Okay. And let's see, do we need a little bit more? Yeah, let's just, so I'm just going to cut off this bit. And just kind of come up right there. And of course, like I said, you know, this is your project. If you want to change it up, of course you can. Okay. And then if you kind of want to like flick the grass and give it a little bit of dimension, you can do that. Okay. And then last, let's go ahead and put on our bow. I think I'll use a glue dot for this. Okay. So that's just going to go right there. And then what I'm going to do is at the end, I will attach this tag to the little basket. But let's go ahead and bring our box in, because I am going to be using, let's see. Okay, I'm going to be using our Sweet Sugarplum Ruched ribbon. I'm going to tie a bow all the way around so the box, you won't be able to open it up after you put, the ribbon on. So, make sure that you put your little treats in there first. Then let's go ahead and get enough ribbon to tie a pretty bow. And this ribbon is so nice. I've enjoyed this ribbon. Okay. And I don't know why, but whenever I tie a bow, it always is sideways. I'm not sure if it's because I'm left-handed or what, but let's see if I can get it straight on today. Hey, look at that, I did it. Yay. Okay, so I'm just pulling, getting that bow tight. I'm just gonna make the loops a little bit smaller. Okay, there we go. And I'm keeping the bow up a little bit higher because here on the sample, wherever it went, oops, is here on the sample, this is a little bit larger, so I don't want it to hang off too much. All right, so let's go ahead and just cut our tails. And I like to cut them at an angle, make them nice and pretty. So what I'm going to do with this is I am using our linen thread, and I've just taken a bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come under the knot, and I'm just going to tie, and again, now I'm going to come under the loop. I kind of want to, or come above the loop under this little part of the tail. I'm trying to keep this hidden as much as possible. And I'm just going to tie a knot. And the great thing is with the linen thread, it's pretty camouflaged on the Crumb Cake cardstock. So like that, but you can slide it if you need to. And then I'm just going to cut the tails as close as I can. I don't want to cut it too close where the knot comes undone. Okay. So like so. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down just a little bit on the left-hand side. Make sure that's straight. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this the sentiment on top of that knot where it just really hides that knot. So just like that. I was thinking of using one of our cute little paper clips, but I felt like it was a little too bulky. So anyway, so there we go. So then you can just kind of play around with the bow and get it to where you want it to be so it can show, so it's showing. But just how cute is that? Oh my gosh, it's just adorable. So here's the first one that I made. And I have this one, I did a little bit better job of hiding the twine underneath that little tail. This one, I need to kind of play around with it. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed today's project. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you head on over to my blog, istampin.com, where you can find all the accompanying products that I used, the accompanying blog post with the PDF directions on how to make this. Also, if you haven't already, head on over to Facebook, my iStampin business page, and share it with a friend. I have a fun tutorial to give everyone everyone who shares, and I've got some fun drawings going on over there. So just have fun on my Facebook page, look around and explore, and then of course subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. All right guys, I've got a few more projects lined up this week. Like I said, I'll be heading to On Stage on Friday, and I'll be back next week. So if you have any questions or comments about today's project, just let me know. Bye guys.